Here we are for week 4 of the IGL. We are going up against AgentMayhem, and I believe that is the Callao Keldeos. He's got a team of Tornadus Therian, Mega Scizor, Crocodile, Volcanion, Blissey, Hitmontop, Galarian Slowbro, Raikou, Deancey, Mismagius, and Maractus. Good old Maractus there. You can see his team in the bottom left there, obviously. You should already know our team, because you should have watched draft analysis 4 weeks ago, but if you didn't, I'm not going to repeat my team. So you can watch this team builder, and then you'll know about half of it. So yeah, looking at his team, he's got, he's got a good amount of hazard removal. He's got Defog Torn, Defog Scizor, Defog Volcanion, and Rapid Spin Hitmontop. He's also got some good wall breakers. Volcanion is quite an issue since my bulky water type is Alomomola, and Alomomola does not touch Volcanion once it gets a sub up, so that could be a problem if he brings that Pokemon. The slow Blissey core is just really bad for me. That Slowbro can really be difficult to deal with because my ground type, once again, my Nidoqueen is not very good in this matchup because I don't really like to switch into Slowbro because it can go for Psychic and do a lot of damage to me. And other than Dragapult, that's like my next best Pokemon to hit Slowbro really hard. So we gotta keep Dragapult around, but as you can see with these EVs, we're not very bulky, so we're not going to be taking a lot of hits, especially if we try to Dragon Dance and we trade, basically, if we end up trading Pult for one other Pokemon. That's just not going to be a good situation because then my Dragapult will be, once the Dragapult goes down, basically, Slowbro really goes ham on my team. And so I've made a few different teams. Like the base has stayed the same. Dragapult has stayed the same for the most part, but a few things have changed around. So I'm gonna go through their team right now and talk about what changed and what still might change. I have no idea what might still change. Like I said. Anyway, I'm repeating myself a lot, so let's just get right into it. We got sub DD Pult this week with the Colberberry. Colberry is nice for the Crocodile. Crocodile can Pursuit Trap me, and that's not good. What the hell was that? I think I had leftovers initially with Cursed Body, so that the substitute Cursed Body, maybe we can do something with that. But Clear Body is just nicer because he's got 2 Intimidators with the Crook and the Hitmontop. So if I get a Dragon Dance up as he switches into Crocodile, Intimidate will not affect me. I can go for Dragon Darts against him. It might not kill. It probably won't actually, but he can not knock me out with a knockoff or a pursuit because I will have the Cold Berry. So that is good to keep in mind. And yeah, this is really nice for Blissey. If he doesn't bring like Ice Beam or Shadow Ball on Blissey, he basically can't touch me and I can just set up on him. His only priority is Mega Scizor, so yeah, we have enough speed for the Tornadus Therian. I don't know what decides to happen exactly when I start to record, but all of a sudden things are banging around in my house, and I don't know, it's just annoying. Anywho, that's the Dragapult for you. Pretty simple stuff, I suppose. Next up is Umbreon. Spit F just to take on the Volcanion a little bit better, because like I said, I don't want to use Alomomola to stop Volcanion, because I really can't. Again, if it brings Substitute, that's a huge problem. And if it's like Specs, then Dragapult is not going to be taking hits very well, which is the only other Pokemon on my team that resists its dual stab. Excuse me. So yeah, Spit F just to take on that Pokemon, and Raikou to an extent. A sub CM Raikou could be an issue, but Dragon Dart should be able to break Substitute on the first hit, and then do a lot of damage the next turn or on the next hit. So that's nice. But other than that, I mean, I originally had Toxic here instead of Heal Bell, but I figured Heal Bell's a little bit better because I don't really Toxic much on this team. I can't Toxic Slowbro, Blissey has Natural Cure. I'm not Toxicing Scizor, obviously. Only real thing I'd be Toxicing, I guess, is Volcanion. But if he goes for sub, it's kind of useless. And if he Toxics me, As long as he doesn't have a substitute up, Synchronize will Toxic it back on him, and then I'll be able to heal him, and that'll be a good situation. So I just don't want to get Toxic on this Pokemon, and with no way to really deal with that. So that is what that is for. Next up we have Avalugg. This used to be Choice Scarf Rotom with Trick, trying to trick a Choice Scarf onto the Blissey, but I decided that Avalugg is a little bit more of a peach in the situation. I don't really know why I would call it a peach. I'm gonna change this right now to Sturdy. At first I didn't really realize that I hadn't changed it, like when I was doing a mock battle. But it's actually immune to Intimidate, which, like I said, he has 2 Intimidators, so that could be really nice. Except, now that I'm thinking about it, if he has like Heat Wave Tornadus and I'm at full health and I'm able to just Avalanche, you know, in a certain situation where I can just kill Tornadus, and he's gonna think he's knocking me out, but I have Sturdy. You know, it's a great way of kind of deterring him from doing that, especially with Wish Passing. I feel like, and I have Recover on the set. I feel like it's a good idea to have the Sturdy there, just to dissuade my opponent from staying in with the Tornadoes. Or maybe he's gonna forget about Sturdy and then just go guns blazing, Heat Wave me, bring me down to my Sturdy, and then I can knock him out with Avalanche, hopefully. Or he just burns me, and that doesn't happen. That could also be a problem. But okay, the EV's pretty standard stuff, just Fizz Def. I noticed that I didn't really have too much for Crocodile, so I wanted to make sure I had something to soak hits. And this Pokemon takes Stone Edges like it's nothing, pretty much. I have the heavy duty boots with the Rapid Spin to stop Stealth Rocks from being an issue. He does have 3 Stealth Rockers in Crocodile, Blissey, and Diancie. He also has spikes on Maractus, so yeah. Body Press also does a lot to Blissey. It does like 70%, 65-70% to Blissey, so that's really good. And yeah, there you go. There's that set. Next up is Fat Bat, our Crobat. Physically defensive as well, because obviously Avalugg doesn't touch Mega Scizor, and I need something for Mega Scizor. This originally had Defog. I changed it to U-turn since that's the same time I changed the Rotom to the Avalugg. Since we have Rapid Spin on that, there's no real point of having Defog, or at least I would rather change it to U-turn, because U-turn's really nice on this Pokemon. I can force switches. I know that. Well, I'll probably be clicking Heat Wave in front of Scizor in case he wants to set up. That's kind of like a deterrent from that. And yeah, I mean, otherwise I will be able to U-turn. I can U-turn out against Hitmontop. Hitmontop is a Pokemon that is really going to give me issues if it's offensive, because Triple Axle is going to be a bitch. It really hits everything that, you know, doesn't get hit by close combat. Hitmontop, if it was faster, it would be a serious offensive threat. But it's got like base 70 speed, so like, who cares? So yeah, if it's not offensive, I can still take Triple Axles pretty well. And I can roost off the damage, which gets rid of my flying type, which is really nice. He could also miss them. But yeah, enough about offensive Hitmontop. We got Super Fang just to cut things in half. Heat Wave is for Scizor, Roost. So yeah, that is the Crobat. Next up, I have Tauros. Now I had Infernape, Adrenaline Orb, and Adrenaline. Okay, whatever. Especially offensive Infernape with the Adrenaline Orb, because like I said, I've said this like 5 times now, he's got 2 Intimidators, and if I'm able to, Adrenaline Orb, if you didn't know, is an item that boosts your speed by 1 if you get affected by Intimidate. So I was thinking maybe if he brings in Hitmontop on the Infernape, I get the +1 speed, I go for Nasty Plot, and then I just kind of run through his team. But that's contingent on him bringing Hitmontop, because even if Crocodile has Intimidate and it comes, it's not going to switch into Infernape very much, so that's not really reliable. He'd rather switch into Tornadus, I'm sure, instead of Crocodile. Especially if I have Infernape against Blissey, which is the ideal condition. So not only that, but, you know, also the fact that I got to hit Focus Blast. That's probably not going to happen. And I only have 8 of them, so I can't just sit there and rattle them off, and I'm not the bulkiest thing in the world. So, anyway, long story short, okay, Infernape was not working on my mocks, and I just decided to change it to Tauros. A physical Infernape I don't think would work out too well, because, you know, like I said, the 2 Intimidators plus Galarian Slowbro kind of just deals with it pretty well. So does Diancie. So, you know, I decided to change it to Tauros. Um, actually, like this morning, so it's kind of a recent change, but here it is. We got Body Slam, Earthquake, Close Combat, and Rock Slide. Last move, Rock Slide, basically just for Tornadus. I didn't really want to run Throat Chop just for Mismagius, so I you know, put it as Rock Slide. That should be good enough. Close Combat does a heap ton to the Blissey and the Crocodile. Body Slam does a lot to the other Pokemon, or just in general, it does a lot of damage to things. And yeah, Earthquake is for Volcanion and Slowbro. I was thinking about maybe I should run Flamethrower over Rock Slide just for Mega Scizor, but then I'd have to go minus defense or special defense instead of, so that, you know, my special attacks would actually be doing damage. I didn't want to do that, so the Adamant Nature will stay, and we'll just find other things for Mega Scizor. We already have the Crobat there, and yeah, next up is, or last but not least, I should say, the other Sheer Force Pokemon on our team, the Nidoqueen, which is Life Orbed with the max special attack, mild nature, because I have superpower. Because you know what, I want to hit that Blissey hard, and it's to a point where if he switches into like an Earth Power and I go for superpower, it should be knocking him out the next turn, even though I have -1 attack, so I can force a switch there. And we'll just hope that we can, you know, deter Blissey from coming in and getting a soft boiled off in the future in the future of that match. So yeah, this Nidoqueen is basically, I know I said I don't want to switch into it with Slowbro against Slowbro, but I do still need it for Slowbro, and I haven't used it this season, so I kind of feel bad for not bringing it. On top of just kind of decent matchup offensively, I think I can put in a lot of work with it. I had Flamethrower over Sludge Wave for a while. I changed it to Sludge Wave because I want to be able to click Sludge Wave easily against things. So, like, for example, against like Raikou, I want to be able to click Sludge Wave in case he brings in Tornadus, because I don't want him to get a free switch into Tornadus. And then if I'm at like 50%, he can just kill me with Hurricane. So that wouldn't be good. Actually, I don't know how. Hurricane probably does like 50%. So yeah. But anyway, yeah. I might change it back to Flamethrower, because it's really important that I don't get set up on by the Mega Scizor. But you know, if he sees that I'm offensive, he probably will want to keep Mega Scizor away from me. But I do have a minus defense nature, so that's a little bit scary. All right, that is the team. Hope you guys enjoyed the team builder. Can't seem to keep these under like 13 minutes anymore, which is pretty sad. But I will cut the video here, and yeah, I'll see you in the battle. Should be either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how I feel after I get home from work tonight. And yeah, once again, thank you for watching Team Builder. I will see you in the battle. Wish me luck, and yeah, bye. Alright, here we are with the battle. You can see we are going up against Agent Psycho and his Callao Keldeos, I believe, because, you know what, I'm gonna check, because I don't want to be wrong and just look like a dumbass in front of my huge audience there. So, anyway, he brings a team of, while the dock loads, Crocodile, Blissey, Mega Scizor, Raikou, Slowbro, Galarian form, and Hitmontop. So I actually didn't realize this at first, but he didn't bring Tornadus. And I didn't really realize it until I got Nidoqueen in at some point, and I realized that I can just freely click Earth Power. So that was awesome. But yeah, basically, it's pretty predicted, I would say. Like, there's nothing here that I under-prepped for. No, like, Mismagius, or what else do we have? You know, no Maractus, no Diancie. I don't really prep for Diancie much. It's still loading. Yes, okay, so he is the Callao Keldeos. Alright, looking at the team matchup, I've led Crobat in most of my mocks, so I'm just going to lead Crobat and see how that goes. I'm predicting a Crook lead. I actually don't know if a max speed Crook will outspeed my Crobat. I'm assuming it will because I don't have any speed on the Crobat as the team builder suggested. But you know, I don't know. I don't know how much speed he would need to outspeed me. I didn't really check that, but if he leads with it, there's a good chance it's Scarfed, especially if I don't see Intimidate. A Moxie is really best with a Choice Scarf on the Crocodile. So, without further ado, let's get started in the battle right now. He's going to lead with a Crocodile, so that's good to know. And we don't see Intimidate, so I'm assuming this is a choice, like a Moxie Choice Scarf thing. So he outspeed me, obviously goes for the knockoff to knock off my boots. A little bit annoying there, but I'm able to get a slow U-turn off into my Avalugg. And I believe I double here very aggressively because I know he's not going to stay. He's not going to stay in. So I feel like, you know, I thought he was going to go to Slowbro or Hitmontop. Nidoqueen's kind of good for both. So he brings in Hitmontop, and then I'm able to just go for a Sludge Wave here. It's a free Sludge Wave, and then I'm able to show off the superpower against the Blissey, which is awesome. I get attack defense, that's fine. He goes for Teleport, which is great. I really didn't want him to soft boil there because I can't continue to click superpower because it keeps lowering my attack. So great to see him go for Teleport there. And then he brings in Crook on the Nidoqueen, gets Rocks up. I'm just going to go for another slow U-turn. He brings in the Slowbro. I see that he's a Rocky Helmet, so that is fine. I bring in Nidoqueen and I can just freely Earth Power. He can't bring in Blissey because it's too weak at this point. So he brings in the Mega Scizor. I get enough damage off to where even though he gets Mega Evolved here and gets a little bit of a Spit F boost, he's still going to die to 1 because I am offensive. And this was actually a pretty especially bulky Scizor according to my calcs. I had to have like a Careful Nature and like 100 EVs and Spit F to be able to take it that well. But yeah, he's going to go into Crook and then predict me to switch, which is a really good double for him. So he gets in Raikou against my Avalugg. I really don't want this to be a sub-CM Raikou, but if it is, we can probably beat it because of Dragon Darts on Dragapult. He goes for straight up Aura Sphere, and that does 47%, which tells me he's modest choice specs. So that's really good information to know. And because I think this Crocodile is Choice Scarf, it's really helpful to have Protect on this set. So he does bring in the Crocodile, goes for a knockoff after I Protect, and then I'm just going to Wish because it's free. I'm okay with him knocking off my leftovers because I'm basically forcing a switch here. At this point I'm like 90% sure he's Scarfed, which is actually kind of good for me that he's Scarfed. So yeah, I bring in Avalugg as I'm predicting a soft boil. Obvious soft boil is obvious. And here I just go for the Rapid Spin. He goes for Toxic. So at this point we have seen 3 moves: Teleport, Soft Boil, Toxic. If that last move does not hit Dragapult, this is free setup fodder for my Pult, which is great to know. But we don't know that 4th move yet, so we gotta look for that. So I go for Body Press. That does 47% through an Intimidate. Well, I guess the Intimidate wouldn't matter, but that does 47% to Hitmontop, which is crazy damage. I'm going to switch into Fat Bat. I was really expecting a triple Axle, but he just goes for Bullet Punch, which is great for me. I can just basically click Roost here and recover all that health back. Even if he had triple Axle, it wouldn't have mattered there because my Flying type would have been gone because of the Roost, so it wouldn't have done much. Now I'm able to U-turn. I don't really care about the Rocky Helmet damage, it's fine for me. So he's going to go for Thunder Wave, which is great because it synchronizes onto him, and then this turn he's going to bring in Hitmontop, trying to get a little bit of momentum, but I'm just going to be able to Heal Bell, and now the paralysis is gone off of this, and then the Toxic also on Avalugg is gone, so that's great. Going to bring Fat Bat back in. Bullet Punch does 11%, which is pitiful damage. We are physically defensive, of course, so that's fine. I'm just going to click U-turn, because I know that I've only revealed 2 moves, so for all he knows I could have Brave Bird and I can knock out his Hitmontop. So I'm able to get a free switch into Nidoqueen. I didn't know if I wanted to go into Pult or Nidoqueen, but I ended up going into Nidoqueen and just getting off an Earth Power. He could have brought in Blissey, but he just let it drop, which is fine with me. He brings out Raikou. I know this is spec, so I don't really, if he is able to predict this and go for Aura Sphere, I can just go into Dragapult the next turn. He can't do anything about that. So he goes for Hidden Power. I'm assuming Hidden Power Ice. which is interesting because he does have Scald on that, so that's like Raikou does have access to Scald, so I don't really know what Hidden Power Ice does for him. I guess it hits Raikou or Dragapult as well. So anyway, a few turns later, basically I'm able to Wish Pass into Nidoqueen because Blissey is a passive piece of shit. And I see that he has Seismic Toss, which is great because that's his 4th move. He cannot do anything to Dragapult because once I get a sub up. So I'm going to U-turn into Umbreon because I don't want to switch into a Toxic with Dragapult, and I also predict him to go for Teleport there, which is why I brought in Umbreon because you can't really do much to Umbreon. If he brings a Hitmontop, I can just bring a Crobat and U-turn, so it's definitely not a problem. He goes into Crook on my Umbreon, clicks Close Combat. That does absolutely 0 to Avalugg. That's pitiful damage. This is a little bit scary here because I went for Recover as the obvious Raikou switch-in came in, and I didn't know what he wanted to go for. If he went for Hidden Power Ice as I bring in Dragapult, that's a really bad situation. If I bring in Umbreon as he clicks Aura Sphere, that's also a really bad situation. Because I don't have leftovers, so that would 2KO me from the range I was at. So I ended up just trying to sack Tauros. He goes for Volt Switch, which is fine, and brings a Hitmontop, which can't do anything to Crobat. So we're basically back in the situation where I have all the momentum, and yeah, that's the situation. So I'm able to U-turn as he brings in Blissey, and I mean, at this point, I was convinced he didn't have Triple Axle on Hitmontop. I go for Sub as he teleports it in. Intimidate obviously doesn't affect me because I have Clear Body on top of being behind a Sub. I was okay with him. If he goes for Triple Axle here, it probably won't kill me. It might, but I'm willing to take that risk. He goes for Bullet Punch, not even Sucker Punch, and it doesn't even break the Sub. And since I saw the Bullet Punch, I'm like, there's no way you have Triple Axle, so I'm going to click Dragon Dance as he clicks Sucker Punch, and that is awesome, because at this point I can just click it again and ensure that I can just kill everything. Because I have Colbur Berry, so even if he gets a crit here, it's not, from the damage I've calced, this is not an offensive Hitmontop, it's not going to be able to kill me. So I can just, you know, get up with the second Dragon Dance and basically sweep at this point, because, again, Intimidate, even if he had it on Voice Crack, even if he had Intimidate on Crocodile, it wouldn't have affected me because of the Clear Body, and I'm able to Dragon Darts my way to victory. So, whew, deep breath, because this was definitely a matchup that had me a little bit scared. At the same time, though, I feel like that kind of thing happens all the time with me. I build a quick team. I build a team in like 10 or 15 minutes, and then, you know, we were talking a little bit at the end. I build a team for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then I do a mock, and I get completely wiped, and then I kind of gotta, you know, change it up and see what works and what doesn't, and eventually I come up with a team that's semi-decent and then can put up a fight. I really needed him to bring a Blissey. Well, I didn't need him to bring a Blissey that didn't touch Pult, but it was really helpful for him to do that. Also, not seeing Tornadus was amazing because that Pokemon is always a problem for me. I don't, you know, it just always is. So, yeah, this kind of thing happened last week as well against the Mega Beedrill plus Rotom Wash. Like the first few mocks I had, I just couldn't break the U-turn Volt switching around. I just couldn't. But I was able to kind of build a team that was able to, you know, take that team on, and I did get lucky at the end with a Scald Burn, but at the end of the day, a win is a win, and, you know, this is a very convincing win, obviously a 6-0, and obviously a lot of my Pokemon were weakened, but that's fine. We're able to pick up the win. Dragapult is able to late game sweep. It kills 4 Pokemon, and Nidoqueen does pick up 2 on the Slowbro and the Mega Scizor, so that's awesome. And yeah, that is going to be the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. We are 3-1 now. I don't know who we go up against next week. I'll figure that out later. And yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're rooting for me in the IGL. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.